Welcome to our channel where we update the most surprising, shocking and fascinating developments of the young and the restless. Today, we will take you to a shocking turning point that can change the entire power situation in Genoa City. A person who was once considered weak, lacking courage, living under the shadow of his family, suddenly stepped up to become a hero, and that comeback was none other than Kyle. But what is even more shocking is, to gain recognition from Victor, the ultimate symbol of power, Kyle had to pay in blood, pain, betrayal, and even his soul. Genoa City is going through an unprecedented period of instability. All alliances are shaky, all trust is tested, and the darkest secrets that were thought to be buried suddenly resurface. In that context, Claire, the girl who used to be Jordan's tool, trying to reintegrate into life, became the center of a savage murder plot. No one expected that Jordan, despite being defeated, could still bring down a part of the city with just a ruthless plan aimed at Claire, an important card in the hands of Newman Enterprises. And the unthinkable happened. Kyle, a person despised by the Newman family, was the only one who dared to jump into the scythe of death to save Claire's life in a moment of life and death. That day, the sky of Genoa City was as gloomy as the hearts of people. Claire was on her way to attend a charity event organized by Victoria herself, part of an effort to atone for her past. However, she did not know that she had been tied to a death sentence drawn up by those loyal to Jordan. A large truck driven by an assassin nicknamed Miles was ordered to spare no one who got in the way. Claire stood in the middle of the crosswalk, completely unaware. And at that fateful moment, Kyle appeared, just in time and completely by accident. What shocked everyone was not just the act of saving people, but because, in that moment, Kyle, who had always lived in conflict, despised by Victor, considered useless by Audra, hurt by Summer, did not hesitate. He rushed forward, using his whole body to push Claire out of danger, before being hit by the truck. Blood splattered everywhere. Kyle's body flew out like a broken doll. Claire screamed in horror, hugging the bloody body of Kyle, who was dying in the cold street. All happened before the eyes of Victoria, who had not yet forgiven her daughter who had just returned, now almost had to witness her being killed right before her eyes. Kyle was taken to the emergency room in critical condition. People surrounded the hospital. But there was one person who made the entire hospital fall silent when he entered: Victor. The most powerful man in the city, who had always considered Kyle a zero, now appeared in silence, coldly observing the young man fighting for his life. But what was behind those eyes? Worry? Regret? Or awakening? No one knew that in the moment he lay on the hospital bed, unconscious, Kyle had begun to look back on his entire life. From a child born into wealth, raised with strict expectations, to a man betrayed by his wife, taken advantage of by his girlfriend, and treated like a shadow by his parents. And then, in the moment of life and death, Kyle found himself, not in power, fame or love, but in courage, sacrifice, and the will to stand up and protect others. The next shock was when Kyle woke up. The media exploded. Hero of Genoa City, Abbott's son saves Claire Newman's life, Victor's action changes his mind, sensational headlines dominate every newspaper page. Victor doesn't say anything. But he quietly goes to see Kyle, and no one knows how the conversation goes. However, the next morning, a shocking announcement is made: Kyle has been officially hired as a senior strategic advisor at Newman Enterprises. However, the respect Kyle has earned does not come with peace. Miles has not been arrested. Claire falls into a psychological crisis, living in constant fear of assassination. Victoria begins to doubt everyone around her. Jack and Diane want to pull Kyle away from Newman. Audra, who planned to use Kyle as a tool, is now pushed aside. Summer lives in torment for losing the man who proved that he can do extraordinary things she never thought possible. In a shocking twist, Kyle does not retreat and instead embarks on a frantic hunt to find out who framed Claire. With the unexpected help of Adam, a man Victor once despised but now seeking redemption, Kyle begins to trace financial records, anonymous contacts, and tampered security cameras. They discover that Miles is not alone. Behind him is a sophisticated terrorist network, plotting not only Claire, but Newman and Jabot as well. Genoa City is facing a silent attack that no one is prepared for. No longer a weakling, Kyle now acts like a warrior. He ignores Jack's warnings and Diane's warnings. He infiltrates a secret data center, even using the underworld connections Adam provides to gain access to Miles' hideout. During a stormy night, Kyle and his secret task force surround the base, and a life-or-death confrontation ensues. With quick wits and courage, Kyle not only saves Claire once again, but also directly subdues Miles in a bloody duel, recording his entire confession. The next morning, Genoa City wakes up in shock. Kyle appears on television, presenting evidence of a plot to take down Newman, revealing the names of potential terrorists in the business world. And even more shocking, some people inside Jabot are also involved. Jack falls into crisis. Diane collapses. But Kyle does not back down. He announces the establishment of an independent organization to fight corporate terrorism and initiates a secret purge in Genoa City's financial underworld. From a person laughed at by the whole city, Kyle is now an icon. Not for power, but because he survived, fought, and faced his own fears. He made Victor say publicly for the first time in his life, "I was wrong about you." But like every story in Genoa City, that was just the beginning. Behind that victory, a new force is rising. A mysterious figure, the one behind Miles, is targeting Kyle, the man who dared to break the traditional rules. And the price for that courage may be something Kyle was never prepared to pay. So stay tuned to our channel to update the most shocking and dramatic developments of this exciting ongoing series.